Hello, I'm Professor Jill Kelly. I'm the instructor for Art 108, 2D Design this semester. Welcome to the class. I'd like to review the syllabus a bit and talk a little bit about the organization for the class and some of the assignments coming up. So let's get started. So let's begin by talking about the syllabus and the requirements for this class. I'm going to scroll through here. I'm looking at Canvas right now. I'm looking at the same document you can go to. Make sure you get the textbook in the first week of class at the bookstore on campus. You can rent it. Launching the Imagination, a comprehensive guide to basic design by Mary Stewart, is an excellent text. Great reference for everything that we do in this class, so make sure you get that right away. There's also reading requirements that you'll need to do. So basically, by the end of this course, you should have explored composition and color through a range of creative projects, media, research, writing, and discussion, while building skills for success in upper-level art and design courses. You'll need a sketchbook for this class. It's required, and a lot of the assignments that you'll be doing, you'll be using your sketchbook to take notes. Course objectives: define and effectively manipulate the elements and principles of design to create abstract, non-objective, and representational compositions. Speak and write critically about personal and peer artworks and propose thoughtful alternatives. Develop inventive concepts using various problem-solving strategies, such as convergent thinking, divergent thinking, metaphor, and collaboration. We're really going to be asking you to stretch your mind a bit here. Engage in visual problem-solving processes. Define the problem, do the research, determine the objective, devise a strategy, execute a strategy, evaluate the results. Also understand basic color theory and its application in using color. This is a liberal arts class, and it fulfills the LE requirements for S3. So through research, we'll be investigating a variety of influences from contemporary historical and cultural perspectives, developing an understanding of the relationship between form and content, building research and writing skills applied to art, design, and material culture, acquiring an understanding and command of composition, color, and form. Through process and ideation, we'll be exploring and building knowledge of ideation strategies, materials, and technique as applied to color and composition. We're going to explore color interaction, color theory, and light. And through process and ideation, we're going to understand color phenomenon, color selection, and color mixing. Through artwork and craft, we'll be applying concepts, media, and technical processes to integrate and express an intended outcome. We'll be using color and composition with an understanding of its organizational properties and expressive possibilities. We'll be solving visual problems in inventive ways. And through documentation and critique, we will describe, discuss, and critically analyze elements and principles of design as applied to media, clearly express learned knowledge through written documentation and critiques, reflect an awareness of contemporary practices in art and design. Through assessment criteria, your grades will be based on your level of understanding and your application of basic technical, conceptual, and visual issues in 2D design. You'll also be assessed on growth in creative idea generation and development in personal expression. Have you learned something in this class? Have you grown? You'll be assessed on the degree of development of critical judgment, written and verbal skills, also to the commitment to learning process as evidenced by your substantial engagement on all levels. That means attendance in all classroom sessions, which are online, participation in class discussions and critiques, which are also online. Also, your willingness to embrace new ideas and approaches in your work. Make sure you have your work done on time. Make sure it is a successful completion of all assignments and projects. Make sure your work is highly crafted. It's well done and you've taken enough time where it shows that you've invested a good amount of time in your projects. Also, attendance is mandatory. So this is a studio course and experiential in nature, and you need to participate consistently in this class to succeed. Even though it's an online class, you need to be engaged every week. If you miss a session of class, you are responsible for requiring any missed material or assignments that are due online. It is not the instructor's responsibility to represent the material to you. If you know you'll be absent when a project is due, plan to hand it in ahead of time so that it isn't late. You are allowed one unexcused weekly absence, after which each unexcused absence will result in the lowering of your final grade by 1/2 letter. So your attendance will be counted by 5 p.m. every Monday by your completion of that weekly checklist on Canvas. And if you have late responses to that, it will count as a tardy, and 3 tardies equal 1 absence. Whether your absence is legitimate or not, you are responsible for making up the work missed in class and communicating that with me, with the instructor. Presentation of required material is given weekly, so your participation is essential. Homework and preparatory information for the next class session are also given weekly. So for grading, you will receive a letter grade for each project throughout the semester, midterm portfolio review before last day to drop, and final portfolio review. And each class project will be worth a certain number of points. After each project critique, I will hand out a number of points earned to each student, and you can request your current grade standing at any point during the semester. Here's a breakdown of the grades. Notice that your final project is worth 20% of your grade. And here's the breakdown of the definition for grades. I think A is an excellent. If you want to get an A, you really need to invest a great deal of time. Completing everything and doing the standard amount of what is necessary to be done is very good, and that's a B. So if I see that you're highly invested in your work, and I believe you're really bringing a lot of attention and vigor to it, I would consider that an A. If you're completing everything and doing what you're supposed to be doing, that's a B. C is assignments done competently and on time, but may have some technical issues. Maybe you didn't spend very much time on them. A D is just barely passing. 2 or more late projects, 4 or more absences, limited investigation of ideas, poor craftsmanship, incoherent compositions, minimal contribution to critiques. And F is probably goes to stand for by itself. So online critiques and participation. Critiques are mandatory and can't be made up. It's very important to me that everyone come to class and participate to their fullest level of comfort and ability. I hope to promote an environment where mutual respect, constructive criticism, and creative exploration are valued by everyone in the class. And I expect the same from everyone who comes in the door. And this was written for a class that was meeting in the class. We'll be meeting each other online. But this working together as a group is very important, and being present for critiques is extremely important. So check your campus email regularly, because I will be contacting the class via email, and I will be updating things. I might even be updating our class schedule. The due date policy. All projects are due on their noted deadlines. Late work will merit substantial grade reduction. Projects submitted late will be lowered 1 full letter grade per day if it is late. Projects more than a week late will not be accepted. Incomplete projects will not be critiqued. Unusual circumstances preventing completion of a project must be discussed in a timely manner with the professor. If extenuating circumstances warranted repeated absence from the class, contact student services and me, the instructor, as soon as possible. If you have difficulties while you're at college, realize that there are many free support services available to you on campus, including a counselor. So project redos. You are encouraged to rework a project to aim for a higher grade if the project was initially complete and met the due deadline. Makeup policy. If you do miss a class session, you are responsible for getting the homework from the course Canvas site or from a classmate. Making up any missed assignments outside of class is very important. It's not the instructor's responsibility to represent the material to you. Also, equity, diversity, and inclusivity. This is a very important thing to pay attention to right now, and I take it very seriously. UW-Eau Claire and this class are committed to creating an equitable, diverse, and inclusive community. Course content, assignments, discussions, and evaluations are designed to support EDI. As a member of this class, we are members of a larger learning community where excellence is achieved through equity, diversity, and inclusivity. So, courtesy and respect is reciprocated and extends beyond our class into local settings, future jobs, and communities. Each student must participate in creating an inclusive and holistic learning environment. Equity is the fair and impartial treatment of all individuals. Diversity is structural and power differences among people, including but not limited to differences in race, ethnicity, religion, gender identity, sexual orientation, age, ability, socioeconomic status. Inclusivity is valuing the perspectives and contributions of all individuals. Academic misconduct, obviously cheating and plagiarism, will not be tolerated in this class. Disciplinary procedures will be made. Basically, don't steal other people's artwork. I think it's easy to Google imagery and find things online, so make sure everything that you do is original. Also, if you have a disability, make sure you contact the disability office, and the link is here. Most of the many of the supplies have been provided to you, and I need you to pick them up in the first week of class. Haas Fine Art Room 307. Make sure you do that. You should purchase any remaining supplies as necessary with upcoming assignments. And wait till I give you the prompt for what you're going to be needing, but you can purchase your supplies in the campus bookstore, or other suppliers in the Eau Claire area include Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Walmart, or other supply stores in Twin Cities, or even other online sources. And here's a few links here for you to take a look at. The materials that I am providing to you are Bristol board, a sketchbook, black construction paper, glue sticks, tubes of paint, and an X-Acto knife. Here's a list of materials that you'll need to buy if you don't already own them. Some of them you may or may not want to use the specific thing that I'm suggesting. You may find something very similar to it, a different brand, and if so, that's okay too. Hi guys, I'm here in the studio and I'm putting together your supplies for the class. And I just want to show you what you should come and pick up in Haas Fine Art Room 307. So you'll need to pick up these supplies in the first week of class, and this is what you should get. So here we are coming into room 307, the studio, up on the third floor of Haas Fine Art, 307 drawing room. Take a look at the schedule and make sure you're not coming in here at a time that conflicts when there's a class taking place. And then just come on over here to the right, go all the way back here to this last cabinet where you can see I'm putting art supplies together for you. So there's the last cabinet here is for our class, Art 108, Professor Kelly, Fall 2020, and everyone has a drawer with their name on it, and inside the drawer there'll be enough supplies for 2 people. And everyone should be getting the same supplies. So you'll get 7 tubes of paint, 1 glue stick, an X-Acto blade, a 8x10 drawing pad, a 9x12 pad of Bristol board, which you'll be completing a lot of assignments on, and a package of black construction paper. Also, one thing that I couldn't fit in the drawer were these cans of yellow paint. I meant to order tubes, but for some reason they didn't have tubes, so they sent me these. Everyone should take a cadmium yellow light container with them. So when you come in to get your work, make sure you bring a container so you can put all of these things inside the container and take them home with you. I also want to mention that you should make sure that you get one of each of the colors that you'll need for the class. You'll need alizarin crimson, titanium white, cadmium red medium, burnt umber. You'll need cadmium yellow medium, cerulean blue, and ultramarine blue, as well as, don't forget, these
yellow paints that I'm stacking up here on top of the cabinet.
So looking forward to seeing you soon on some online discussions.